Cross-Atlantic Gaming's community is the heart of what Cross-Atlantic Gaming is all about. Join our Discord. Links are in the description of the show notes. Now let's get on with the show. Hit it, Risky.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 97 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host Risky the Kid, and joining me this week, as always, are my co-hosts Chocolate Bear.
Hello.
And Moose.
Is this the last week? Is this the week that they finally kill me?
Your family or your co-hosts?
One of the two.
It's going to be a lot easier for them. We have quite the distance between all of us.
Yeah, but you have free shipping, so I always have to be careful what I open.
Yeah, nowadays, day 975 of the COVID crisis.
Feels like it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somehow everyone's at home and playing less games, it seems. If they have children, at least.
Well, I'm playing a lot of one certain game. But we can talk about that in a minute.
We sure can. First up, we did get some reviews in on Apple Podcasts. And Chocolate, if you wanna read these out?
I should have read these beforehand. Right, so we got 5 stars from ODPH, and they've said, if you're into gaming, this is your podcast. Fun banter, great content, and AMP?
It's an emoji.
Oh, well done, thank you.
or it's just an ampersand, is it?
Yeah, maybe.
It might be.
Well, whatever, I've ruined this already. Hosts keep you engaged from the start to finish. What else could you want from a podcast? Hit the download already. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
And the next one is, I've been a gamer since the SNES days, NES days even. It's good to see more and more gamers finally podcasting about them. Enjoy the content and the ease that everything is discussed. Keep it coming. Cheers to ya, Tyler. And that was another 5-star.
The ease that everything is discussed until he heard the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah, right. Just got awkward.
Sorry, you can't edit your review, Tyler.
Yeah, well, let's be fair. Let's put COVID in there. It's been a long 7 days.
Oh, it feels like 700, and I don't have children again, so I can't imagine how everybody else is feeling.
Yeah, I'll ship you both mine because Jesus.
Pass.
You can come visit anytime you want, Risky.
I don't know if hopping on an airplane is in the cards.
No, you just gotta pack up the old Subaru or whatever you're driving these days. Head on out west.
All right, get some fresh air. Perfect. All right, well, thank you guys for the reviews. We always appreciate those, obviously, through Apple Podcasts. So yeah, thanks a lot. All right, another week in gaming. What have we all been getting into? Let's start off with Chocolate. Bleeding Edge came out this past week, free in Game Pass. I played a little bit of the beta when that was out, when the open beta was out. How's 1.0 doing? How are you enjoying the full game?
It's a shock. It's easy to pick up, but to try and understand not the mechanics is the wrong word, but how to fight, stay as a team. It's hard, and God does it punish you. If you are a lone wolf, you'll get your backside handed to you quick.
Yeah, that was like the first thing that I noticed when hopping into that game was that if you saw a dude on the minimap like out by himself, go get him, because he's not going to be able to put up a fight. Not even close.
And then if you take out the healer, the whole team's kind of crippled till they get back. So
that was the other thing. It is a case of, you go for that one man or the healer. But the game, it's interesting. So I played a good few hours of it, and just watching how people didn't necessarily want to play as a healer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. There wasn't. I can't remember what the top support is. The top one, isn't it? So people were mainly going for support characters, and not so much the tank either. It just seemed very, very
DPS
strange.
Only.
Yeah, I think there's 2 that have got a slight range on their attacks, and it's the girl who looks like I think it's Mauve. I want to say that she's got a bit of a cannon on her. so there's a slight bit of range on her.
Right.
I can't think of the other characters.
It's
Life of me.
funny. It's funny when you make a melee based like hero slasher kind of game like this, and people are just gravitating towards the ranged characters
Yeah.
anyways. Like,
What's most like Overwatch? I want to play that one.
yeah, exactly.
But it's good. It handles well. There is a steep learning curve to each character, which I don't know whether I am going to find the time to put the hours in. I think if I could get 5 friends, or was it 4? No, it's 5. No, 4. 4 friends together. I might play it. However, playing with randoms, it sucks big time. No one wants to communicate. No one wants to kind of say, let's go attack here. No game plan.
Right, and you have to focus attack in that game, or you don't get anything done.
Yeah. If you're splitting up, if there's no kind of game plan, if there's no let's go attack this end or go capture this point, it's, I don't want to say pointless playing, but yeah, you're going to find it really tough.
Yeah,
to get the
banging
win.
your head against the wall, and everybody just goes down the death hallway, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, totally. There is one map I played actually. I can't think what it's called, but as soon as you come in, you go off 3 ramps, and they kind of shoot you across the map. And we were terrible. We're getting our backsides handed to us, and then all the other team done because they were playing together. They just grouped slightly in on our spawn, and as we
Right.
shot through, yeah, that was it. We were done for.
Or you can
so
just split up between the 2 closest control points, and guard those 2 and just dominate the game.
yeah. I mean that's the other thing. But in the end, it was fun. Will I keep on playing it? I don't think I will for my multiplayer action. I think I'd rather stick to Apex and COD. I don't think
I've
this
heard
will
that a
be-
lot from like the community online. Like it's kind of fallen flat for a lot of people.
Which is
Yeah,
understandable. There's just better options that have
Right.
been out longer and are more polished and more, I don't know, just better in most ways. Like the one thing
Yeah.
that this game was trying to bring was that it was melee focused.
Right.
And I don't know if that's necessarily what people want. So,
I think
Because
they-
For Honor is so much better than this game, and that's a melee focused, multiplayer type game.
Yeah, I think they've missed. This should have come out a few years prior. This may have had more longevity 2 years ago, maybe 3.
It is For Honor, right?
yeah.
The one where you
Yep.
fight as knights or
Yeah, like Samurai's Knights
Yeah, exactly.
and somebody else.
yeah, big heavy dudes.
Yeah, I think you're right, though, Chocolate. It might have stood a chance back then, but
Yeah.
it just kind of sucks when devs try to take risks and do something even slightly different when it just doesn't pan out at all, because then you just kind of end up with the same cookie cutter stuff over and over. But if it's what people enjoy, it's what people enjoy.
Well,
so.
yeah. I mean, I feel it's going to have a good cult following. I do think this game is going to do okay. I don't think it's going to be abysmal. And then being
Do
on
you
Game
guys-
Pass as well.
Do you guys feel like this kind of like doesn't bode well for Microsoft as far as another one of their games coming out into not much noise basically?
I mean, what
'Cause-
other ones are you comparing it to? I guess.
Well, Gears 5 was pretty good, right? But
Yeah.
other than that, what other launch, what other exclusives had they had, or straight to Game Pass titles that, have been raved about?
I mean, I think Ori's there, and
Yeah,
even if
Ori
it's
is
if it's a
9 or a 10,
smaller
right?
amount of people, yeah, it's 9s and 10s across the board. But again,
That's a
two
good point.
completely different types of games, though. Like this isn't something Ori's not something people are going to be playing for
Right,
years
and that's
or anything.
and Ori is also something that everybody that played Ori 1 is anticipating, but I don't know if anybody else knows anything about Ori. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, right. Yep, I agree with that completely.
But then I suppose having a multitude of different type of genre games coming out only bodes well for Game Pass or for what they're trying to push.
Right.
Yeah, okay, the game wasn't to my liking, even though I was quite hyped about it after XO. Yeah, I don't know. I think that if
I
they
also
keep,
think I like to think it's early too. Like they bought up all these devs in the last couple of years, but that's not enough time to be putting out exclusive stuff for Game Pass. So
most of these games are already what they had in the pipes before.
Yeah, exactly.
Microsoft,
and they might not just be coming to Xbox either because they weren't bought like before that. So it's, I don't know. I think the next couple of years will probably be a lot more telling than this year and the year before. So
I'm looking forward to June and the digital E3 presentations.
Yeah, for sure.
I was going to say, I think the first 6 months of the Series X coming out will show what they've got in the pipe, or what they've had on the back burner. I feel, what was it? I'm sure it was one of our first shows. There was this quote of saying they wanted 20 studios by 2020, and they were aiming to put out AAA games. Was it every 3 months? I'm sure that was the statement for in Game Pass. So could still happen.
And that's, I think it also depends on, I don't know, do they necessarily have to be, did they say AAA then? So like they wouldn't have counted something like Ori, or do you?
Well, this
Ori's AAA, isn't it? Or no?
When I think of AAA, I just think of huge games that are super loud.
Like Gears.
Like everybody knows about, like Gears, yeah.
Forza.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So I guess it depends on what they meant when they said that,
well,
I guess.
True. But yeah, anyway, that's my slight thoughts on Bleeding Edge.
All right, so swing and a miss for now. Yeah, I don't know what you like. The base idea and premise, I think is fine and sounds fun, but it's not something that I was excited for. I played the beta because it was there,
right? Just to check it out.
Yeah, and I knew that it was coming out. Then I had time to play it this weekend, but I had no interest. So I don't know. Hopefully it does well, right? That's all we can ever hope for. But all right, well, something that recently came out that a couple of us are enjoying and will continue playing for a while here is Animal Crossing New Horizons. What a weird statement that was to just make. Moose.
Wow.
This is something that we have made countless jokes about, not buying, not playing, not understanding.
All I can say is be very, very, very careful touching this game. It's like the fentanyl of video games. It can seep into your skin and take over you.
See, I'm thinking about this game, so I'm going to listen to what you two say and then decide whether I actually bite the bullet.
All right, we got to sell them. Let's go.
Well, you start out. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask you, like, at a base level, if you had to, like, elevator pitch this game to somebody, like, what's your quick pitch, and then we can dive in further.
Basically, from what I've seen on the internet, it's a super simple Stardew Valley.
I think that's
basically cover most of it.
I think so, but I would say there's things that are completely different in a good way. There's things that are completely different in a bad way.
Sure.
And yeah, I don't know. So when I think Stardew, I think a lot more farming, which is something you can totally do in this game.
Right.
If you want to make an apple orchard, and that's just like your thing, that's how you make money. You can plant a bunch of apple trees, harvest a bunch of apples, sell them all. Like you could be a farmer if that's what you want to do.
It's all about the bells, baby.
Yeah, so the currency in this game is bells. You have this weird island landlord governor.
Yeah, you go on vacation and then all of a sudden you're just stuck on a deserted island. I don't quite get the beginning of the game, but he's like, here's your tent. Go find a spot.
Yeah, and then this dude named, I mean, if you're familiar with Animal Crossing, you know who Tom Nook is.
Right.
He's just this dude that's going to lend you a whole bunch of money, and you got to pay him back. If you want a house, you have to pay him. Your initial travel costs to the island, which you think just you volunteering to go to some remote island and try to start a civilization,
should pay for itself.
Should be enough.
Yeah.
But he's like, nah, I need 5,000.
You owe me
Nook
$5,000
miles. And that very first little bit right there kind of explains how the rest of the game plays out as far as people just needing things.
And you're always going to be in debt, so just get used to it.
Yeah. This is it's different than most games, where in most games, if you wanted to buy the house, you'd need to save up 100,000 gold, and then once you have your 100,000 gold, you just build it. Okay, it makes sense. This one, it's like, here, you can have the house. Now you need to pay for it, but there's no type of like.
There's no interest, so.
There's no interest. There's no like payment dates or anything.
Yeah,
so.
You can do it at your leisure, but you can't upgrade until you have it paid off.
Right.
So this is like real life, like a mortgage.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
is. It's exactly like a mortgage. You have a savings account. You can deposit money in your checking or your savings account. You can pay towards your house. And then the more you progress in the story, the more people come to your island, and the more you develop, the more you get more shops and more vendors and things like that. And it just becomes a giant place of commerce, and you just entice other people to come and live at your island, and you try to collect and grow everything you can.
Yeah, so that's like the one thing that I'm having a tough time figuring out right now is like what's my end goal, I guess, or what I should be striving for. Like with Stardew, if you took the route of rebuilding the community center, you had X amount of different things you had to collect or harvest, mine for, all these different things, and they came up in different seasons. So if you missed them one season, you have to wait a whole year to try to harvest a crop or something to go into the community center. And then once you collected all of these things and checked all of these boxes, you rebuilt a community center for the town. It was a place where people could gather and just hold meetings or whatever, but there was a point for you to be, there was something driving you forward in the game, and it was to build this.
Well, it's the same. Have you built your store?
So I just, as of this morning, got enough to start construction on the store.
Okay, so it'll be ready tomorrow.
I mean, I guess it's kind of like that, but that doesn't feel like an end goal, where the community center is like, once I get this community center built, I can feel like I'm done with the game, I guess.
Oh, no, I don't know if you're ever done with this game. I think this game's more of just chill out and hang out, and you know what I mean?
It definitely gives me some Minecraft vibes, I think. That's, I think, another fair comparison.
Sure.
That's the word I'm looking for. Like a mixture of Minecraft with Stardew in a way. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's enough that's going to keep me coming. The one thing you're saying is that you don't know if you ever put it down, and that's another big point I have, is that this game to me feels a lot like a mobile game. Because you're building things, and they're going to take actual days. Like if I built the museum, it said it wasn't going to be done for a day. That's not like a weird in-game day or anything. That's an actual day. Reset, I think you told me, is at 5 a.m. or something?
I'm not sure when it is. It just is usually reset when I wake up the next day.
Okay, yeah. So it happens sometime overnight. Cool. So you do have to wait for things, and as far as I know, there's no way to accelerate time unless you're actually like manipulating your time on your Switch, which is...
I'm not sure. Everybody talks about time travel, but I don't know if they're actually changing the clock on the Switch or if there's a way to time travel within the game.
From everything I watched, it was manipulating the time on your Switch to make it think it was like the next day.
Right. The same way you get more hearts in Candy Crush.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a good and bad thing. It makes it so I'm not... Because once you kind of go through and tap all the trees on your island to get wood, you tap all the rocks to get like ore and stone and stuff, they're done for the day. So you're not going to be sitting there hitting the same thing, like grinding for hours and hours. It's kind of, to me, it's a pick up for a couple hours thing and then play it the next day.
Well, see, that's what, after you get done with all that, and you can still fish forever. There's always fish.
True.
And, there's always bugs. And then you can always spend 2,000 e-tickets or miles or whatever and go to an island that's not connected to somebody else.
Yeah, and I think that's probably... so far, I've made two. They're called Nook Miles, and you can buy these airline tickets for $2,000.
Exactly. They're basically like frequent flyer tickets or something.
Yeah, and what happens is you get sent to these new islands, and there's this policy that they have in place where anything you leave there is there forever, and anything you take with you, you can bring back to your island. So if you land on an island with a different type of fruit or a different type of fish or bug or something, you can collect these things and bring them back and kind of start to change what your home island is like, I guess,
Right.
in a way. And that's kind of the coolest stuff I've run into so far. It's like my first island I hopped to it was an orange island. So all the
Oh,
trees there
nice.
grew oranges, but that's what my home island is. It's all oranges.
Oh, that sucks.
So,
So you didn't get coconuts though, because every island that I've been to has palm trees.
I did grab coconuts. So I
Okay.
planted. So, I mean, that's a perfect example is that I went to this island, picked a bunch of coconuts, brought them back to my own personal island, and then planted them. And now a couple days later, I've got coconut trees.
Right.
Something that wouldn't have happened before if I didn't leave, grab some, bring them back. There's that cool loop. But with the whole timing thing, not being able to move forward in time, it kind of leaves you not, unless you're doing, like you said, just constantly fishing or constantly catching bugs, which can get old because the fishing's a one-button fishing
Yeah,
thing.
it's
You
pretty
wait for a
simple.
prompt and you click it. That's it. And I'm not interested in doing that for hours. So I think it's good in a way that it is kind of like bite size, but
Right.
you want to do it every single day. It kind of keeps you in the game, and that's where, to me, it feels like a mobile game. Where
And
it's
then,
like,
yeah, at the beginning, it helps out to have friends. I don't know if you've done this at all, but you can do it with, like, Lou has a bunch of different fruits. I've been using a bunch of different people in the X1 Bros server, and they can come to your island. They can actually plant trees for you, or they can just give you fruit. So, actually, my cousin Dean came over Friday night and gave me 10 apples, 10 cherries, and a bunch of the iron to kind of just help advance me because he's like 2 or 3 days ahead of me in the game. And
Right.
so that's pretty cool too. But, at this point, my island is a mess. I'm just throwing crap wherever. So I still
I'll
have
get back to it later.
Yeah, still have the OCD of separating my fruit trees. And then you can cross-pollinate flowers and create new hybrid flowers. There's all sorts of things that you can do. There's little nuances in the game. So I guess there's a way right now that if you go to one of those islands and you clear everything off the island, then only 2 certain bugs will show up. And then if you scare off all the beetles, then only tarantulas will show up. And tarantulas are worth a crap ton of money. So you can just go farm tarantulas. So that's what I think I might try to do later on today.
all right. And so here's the thing. The thing is that what we just explained to you guys is something that if you had explained this game to me and told me that was the gist of the game, I would have been like, nah, like I'm good. That doesn't sound that fun.
Yeah, I was
That's
like
kind
that.
of where,
That's
yeah,
where
this
I
is where
was.
I'm at.
And then I played it. That's what I'm telling you. Don't touch it, dude. It's like
Yeah.
fentanyl.
And it's a strange thing.
Everybody's
because-
like, it is selling like gangbusters too. It's breaking records as far as like, I think the whole world being quarantined at the same time is like, this is the perfect storm for this game to come out.
yeah. So
What, the
I mean,
virtual talking to people and planting their seeds in other people's islands. Oh, that sounds
Exactly.
wrong.
Well, there's going to be a lot of COVID babies in about 9 months, Bear. A lot of cross-pollinating fruits, if you know what I mean.
boom. Yeah. So I mean, if that sounds interesting, if it sounds interesting right off the bat, this game's probably for you. If you're skeptical, like I was, like Moose was, and then
Right.
we just kind of hopped in and gave it a shot. It's such a good game for just being something that's different than everything else we're playing right now. Like everything we're
makes-
playing, you're shooting at things, you're
Yeah.
killing people. They're action packed. This is, if you liked Stardew Valley and you like just chilling out and farming and like just
Well,
doing that kind of like meditative things, this
Yeah.
game seems to be perfect for that.
But then we also didn't even really talk about, the recipes function of the game. Like there's always new furniture to make. There's always new things. And then once you get your store set up, there's a hot item of the day. So if you have all the resources to make those, you can go build as many of them as you can, and they sell for double the normal price.
Yeah, see, and again, we're just telling you things that aren't that exciting, but once you're in the game and you're playing, that sounds awesome.
Right.
I want to do that now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't
So,
know. It's
I don't know.
I'm,
What do you
I'm glad I
think,
gave it
Bear?
a shot.
Do we sell you or not sell you?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm. How much is it? 60? Is it 60
Yeah,
bucks?
it's a Nintendo IP.
Oh,
It's
And there's
something.
a ton of games on sale right now too. So
yeah. I missed the boat on the Doom collection. I think they were only I think for 3 of the back cat games, I think it was like Doom 1, 2, and 64. Were I'm sure it all worked out to like £5 or something stupid, and I didn't pick it up.
Oh dang!
I know.
That sounds nice. I wish I found that. Maybe it's
Yeah.
still there. Maybe I can
could
find
be.
it somewhere.
Could still be.
It made Disney Plus and all the cartoons and things that I've been enjoying the last few days go by a little quicker.
Don't get me started on Disney Plus in the UK. I am.
Oh yeah,
so
Bears on a
Do you need
Bears
to
on a
vent a little?
warpath against Disney right now.
Well, I mean, one, it's very convenient how all of a sudden Disney Plus comes out and COVID drops. Two,
Put on your
Jesus.
tinfoil hats, kids.
Here we go.
but 2, I can't believe, I think we are 10 weeks behind you guys, 8 weeks behind you in terms of content. So they've only dropped Mandalorian episode 3 yesterday, and what we're recording Sunday. So yeah, it's only just dropped.
Yeah, that's how it is for us. It wasn't. It was weekly.
But we also have already watched the entire thing
All of it.
2 months
This is-
ago.
This is what I'm saying. So I assumed, and completely wrongly as well, that we would be at the same pace at where you guys are. So I think you've got Frozen 2 at the moment. We haven't got that.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just very jealous of my American brethren.
We're supposed to get Onward here in a couple days.
Yeah, well, you can shove that up your onward.
Chocolate, if you want to watch it, I already own it, so you can just give me my login info.
Does that work without a VPN?
I don't know.
I wonder-
Yeah,
I
It's
do
my
wonder how
it's
that
my
works.
Amazon account, so I don't know how that works.
Right.
I'm sure it's locked down, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We'll suffer.
You guys are
We're
suffering.
British. We'll queue up and we'll wait our turn.
I guess you should have won the war, huh, Bear? It's a little Revolutionary War humor there. My bad.
Yeah. Let me just go put on some tea.
Oh god.
Sir, I think ours is all in the Boston Harbor, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Just actually taught my daughter about that the other day. We still celebrate it.
The teacher's here.
Goddamn tea. Well, I'm glad I don't like tea anyway.
Me neither. Anyways, all right. So Animal Crossing, we pitched it there. If it sounds like something you're into, go for it. All right. What else have we been doing? Chocolate. How's Apex going? I see. Did you drop off of Warzone? We're back on the Apex train.
So I've started a new regime. I've started waking up at 5 a.m.
Woo! That is way too early.
Yeah, tell me about it. It hurts. And this is the only time I can get some gaming in. So I've started waking up at 5 a.m.
That makes sense. Everybody's sleeping, so boom.
Yeah, it's a bit of peace and quiet.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, so jumped onto Apex. I thought this is the only time I'm going to get to play. I need to kind of rattle off my battle pass. And back in Kings Canyon. I mean, what a better time to be alive. Back where it all started.
Never mind the whole world epidemic thing right now, right?
Hey, gotta escape somehow, right?
Well, yeah, for those 2 hours, I am in Kings Canyon. I'm nowhere near this COVID rubbish. But yeah, it's nice to go back, and it's interesting to play. Obviously, as we all know, Apex is my preferred BR game, and I don't know. For me, everything works in Apex, right? I suppose that's the way my brain's wired.
Yeah, and I think once you've played that enough, and it's been like your standard, it's kind of everything else is going to kind of seem like they're getting stuff wrong, I guess.
Yeah, or you don't get to grips. So Warzone's brilliant, and it has that excellent Call of Duty kind of multiplayer feel in the battle royale scene. But there were just certain things that I didn't get along with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's good, and it's good to be back playing Apex. Like I said, Kings Canyon. What better time to be alive?
Is it going to switch back again? Or do you think they'll ever have a time where you can just pick between the two? Or is that
That
just
would
going
be
to
nice.
split the player base
Yeah,
too much,
well,
or what?
Well, the reason I put Apex down is because I've noticed that lobby queuing times have got longer. So I think I only played for 2 days this week of Apex, and you could see dramatically how much longer it took for you to load into a ranked game. So I imagine that quite a few players have moved and gone on to Warzone.
They'll be back. Warzone's just the new hotness for now. People that love Apex will still end up back there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. I think having those two go head to head is quite nicely with. I don't know. Would you say Fortnite is behind them, or just kind of leading the way?
Maybe I'm just I just don't hear a ton about Fortnite anymore.
It's
I guess
still, I think, way out in front as far as streaming and all that stuff.
and probably just overall revenue, to be honest.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got news
By far.
about that company later too.
Perfect.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, as far as like people on my friends list or people on Twitter that I follow, that kind of stuff, nobody's really playing Fortnite that I'm aware of. Shine, I think, was the last person I've seen playing it because I think he was trying to finish off the last battle pass.
We may be talking about it here in the near future.
All right, perfect.
oh.
Let's leave that one.
It was one of the three options that I had to play yesterday with my nephew. So
Oh, nice. All right.
yeah, it's only
Well,
a matter of time.
Well, I thought about re-downloading it on the Switch, but we'll wait and see because there's no way I'm playing it on Xbox and trying to build. I'll just get my Pro controller out and see if I can
Nah, dude, it's no builders club.
rubble in.
Go hide in the caves. Can't build down there.
The fact that there still hasn't been a no build mode in that game is mind blowing. I've been talking about this for what feels like 7 years, and the
feels
game
like
hasn't
it,
even been
right?
out that
Yeah.
long. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, crazy.
But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say about the load times in Apex. It was interesting.
And your
Yeah,
guys'
that's-
good.
I'm just wondering if that is totally just a Warzone thing. Like if that many people have been
Yeah.
pulled from it at the moment.
I'd say it's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see it's not. I mean, aren't they slowly approaching 30 million users at the moment? Call of Duty.
I think I'm pretty sure they hit that.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, that's a lot of people. Good point.
Chocolate, I got to fill out my battle pass though. So if I'm up late nights, just shoot me a message because I'm usually appearing offline because of weirdos and stuff, you know.
Because of the weirdos, COVID's bringing out the worst in everyone.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do Tuesday night's my next planned time, so I'll send you a message tomorrow,
Sounds good.
and
Dude.
then we can jump on and stream a dub,
A
an
dub.
easy dub.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so Fortnite's still good, or
No.
Apex? Jesus, we don't know if Fortnite's good. Do we, Moose?
I don't know yet.
All right. Okay. Anything else? Yeah. I do want you to talk about Sea of Thieves, Moose. And that's only because you told me a funny story, and I think the people should hear it.
Yeah, I had to. Well, I didn't have to. Me and my nephew got to play together yesterday, actually, which is Saturday. And he decided that we were going to play Sea of Thieves. So I figured, we'd go into adventure mode and I'd kind of show him the ropes a little bit. Started out a gold hoarder's quest, did one of mine because I'm level 40 something. So try to level them up quickly. And we get to, first 2 islands, no problem. Dig up the thing. And then on our way to the 3rd island, I decided to let him drive.
Uh-oh.
I almost took a screenshot of the map, dude. We literally just went in circles for.
It's funny because when you look at the map, it it makes a line like for everywhere you've gone, so you can
Yep.
see the exact course that you've taken.
And we just went squiggly all over that map, dude.
Oh.
So we did a couple loops, checked out a couple islands on both sides, on our way, to our destination. And so then finally I took the wheel, got us back in the right direction, got us parked. Unfortunately, our treasure was on the other side of the island. I thought we were good. Nobody was, playing pirates anymore. So I just left it there. We ran to the other side, picked up the treasure, came back. Boat was gone, and we both got sniped in the face.
Not see a friend's moves.
Yeah, I was like, he's like, well, now what do we do? I was like, we start over. He's like, what about our treasure? I was like, they get our treasure. He's like, oh, well, that's not very fun. I'm like, yeah, we'll have to get on here with some of my friends that are pirate legends and teach you how to actually fight, and then we won't get our treasure taken anymore. But we started over. I was like, all right, we're doing one island, and then I got to get off here because it was like 2 hours in at that point. So we did one island. I ended up leveling them up to like level 5 on gold hoarders and merchants, I believe. And no skulls because we didn't find any. Oh, actually, we found a hateful skull, but we donated it to those guys that shot us in the face.
Aw, nice of you.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that's always worried me about that game for new players,
Mm-hmm.
especially younger ones, is that
Right.
if you run into the wrong people on a server, they can ruin any type of fun you're having in an instant.
And these
Once
guys
you-
they had legend sails, legend flags. They were just
Right.
on there to ruin people's day.
And I was gonna say, once you've played enough, like I obviously have, and you've also played a ton of it, you kind of
Right.
just come to expect having good days and bad days out there.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a new player and that's how you get started off, is just
Yeah.
getting trolled on by
Yeah.
people that are just that much better. Ugh, what a bad
And there's no way I
experience.
could have played against 2 guys by myself that were both,
No, yeah.
possibly legends. So, and
Right.
Noah was, or my nephew was just trying to figure out how to attack the skeletons without dying.
Yeah, and if you can't do that,
Right. He's like,
you're in
I need
trouble.
more food. I'm like, you got to go find a barrel. And, and then after we haphazardly got our way back across the island, then he found the sad part of Sea of Thieves. That, like you said, it's not Sea of Friends.
Not even close.
But I think he's still into playing, so he was stoked that we got some treasure and turned it in. But he's got a little ways to go, but we'll get him there.
Yeah, and that's, I've said this before, but it's a perfect learning game just for overall mechanics and first-person games.
Right, and it might actually, because he said that he played, what's the other mode called?
The arena?
Yeah, the arena. He played that before, and they got third
Oh,
place. But so that might be an easier way to just kind of crash course people into how the game works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to get like right into it.
Yeah. You got 20 minutes, and then you can just start over, and as opposed to spending 2 hours collecting treasure and then
Getting lit up.
turning off your Xbox like we've done many a times.
Yeah.
So
That's fun.
it's a fun game still. And I told him about all the Tall Tales and all that stuff. So there's tons of content. But I think I've talked him into playing through Master Chief Chronicles with me. So that might be our next play session, is to play through all those.
Oh, it's fun.
I would say that'll be a good one.
Right? Introduce him to the shooters the right way.
There you go.
Because he's not allowed to play Warzone with me right now. He's only 11.
Boo.
I
That's
know,
how
his
you get
parents
him
have
in.
morals and stuff.
Great way to cut your teeth. That's
Right?
I get frustrated and I'm decent at video games. Can't imagine not being able to point at things, try to kill people.
exactly.
Yikes.
So, yep.
Cool.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? I'm playing Warzone, obviously still. Destiny, I actually hopped in. I got up to 1,000 light level, which is weird, seeing like a 4th digit on a power level or light level, whatever they're called nowadays. So I played a little bit of that. Played some Iron Banner is back right now. By the time you listen to this, it's off. So sorry.
I do have to say that we have another addict in the community that he's a contributor to our Patreon. Mr. Art Cutter, his gamer tag is Big Cutter 8, I believe, on Xbox. And he is on Warzone all the time. So if you need somebody to squad with, he's pretty good. Him and the Aerobin are racking up wins while I am too tired to play.
It's the West Coast
Yeah.
squad out there.
Exactly. You and Shofa better watch out. They're coming for you.
I hit 20 this week. So
Jesus, dude. I'm at 4 or 5, I think.
yeah, I also I just checked and have 3 days in that game now. So
Yeah, you're gross.
we've I'm in a quarantine, man. I
Is
don't
that-
have children.
Yeah. What was your excuse before?
Well, now looking back on that was gross.
Just been training for quarantine?
Yes, exactly. Been training my whole life for this moment, guys.
All the gamers are just like, what's the big deal? Sit inside and play games for 2 weeks. It's just another February, or what is it? March for me.
Yeah, exactly.
What day is it?
It's Sunday.
Felt that.
That's what I posted on Discord today. I was like, anybody else have the feeling it's like the movie Groundhog Day? You just wake up and do the same crap every day.
I definitely got that. I woke up a couple of days ago. I was like, what day is it?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
They had it on the news. They were just interviewing people, asking if they knew what day of the week it was, and like
That's hysterical.
everyone they showed obviously was wrong, but they had a good like 10 or 12 clips of people not knowing what day it was.
I mean, I feel like, because I'm obviously still going to work at least a few days a week for a little bit.
Right.
But I feel like if I was just at home every day, I wouldn't know what day it is.
And I got practice. My youngest kid had croup the week before all this lockdown stuff happened, so that's a highly contagious respiratory infection as well. So we got to hang out at home too. So I've been on quarantine for like going 3 weeks now.
Hopefully Moose will be here the next episode.
Like I said, this may be the last one.
We'll see. All right. Anything else you guys have been playing or want to talk about that you may have picked up this week? Anything?
Nope.
Going
There's
once.
a bunch of games in the eShop, right now that are on sale. A lot of good sales. So if you're into any of the Final Fantasy games, the Secret of Mana stuff's on sale right now. There's all sorts of RPG stuff. So if you're into that kind of games, Cabo,
Sweet.
go get them.
Those sales don't switch till Thursday, so you do have a couple days if you want to check out to see what's on there. So there's that. All right. Before we get into the news, quickly, I'm going to touch on Game Pass Roulette. We are currently playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. We're going to be going over this next episode. Right?
Is that the 11th?
Why?
Oh, sorry,
No,
I was on
'cause-
mute. Yes, yeah, it's next episode.
This date's-
98.
this
Oh
date's
yeah,
wrong.
because we have
That
a
says
few-
March 11th.
April.
We'll figure it out, guys.
Yeah. One of these days.
One more week for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. If you have any feedback, questions, comments, that kind of stuff, we do have the Game Pass Roulette channel in Discord, but also reach out on Twitter if that's more your style.
It's April 6th. April 7th is going to be the day of the show.
There you go.
Or the day of the podcast, I'm sorry.
Right. So still a little bit of time to get feedback in if you're interested. So shoot that over to us.
It's good. Don't miss it.
There you go. All right. Well, now we can get into some news. All right, Moose. So what could you dig anything up this week?
Yeah.
Is anything going on?
It's all going to be a surprise to you guys this week. I didn't put anything in the show notes, but I got
I'm
notes here.
excited.
Yeah. So starting out, YouTube is downgrading their video quality to the default will be standard definition. They did it in Europe last week in the UK, but they went ahead and they're doing it worldwide now. Just because everybody's at home and everybody's streaming
Sucking
crap.
up the bandwidth.
Exactly. So they're one of many companies. PlayStation has slowed their downloads. I can't remember who else. Netflix, I believe, is kind of slowing down their stuff. Everybody seems to be gating their speeds just to kind of give the infrastructure a little ease.
The one time we need it most.
I know, but at least this way it won't crash if that's a thing. I don't know if they can be overloaded and then
Oh wow, could you imagine the internet goes out?
Netflix
Like,
goes out, dude. What if Netflix
Oh,
just
my-
went down?
Netflix, Disney Plus.
They would be
Parents
gathering
would be-
in masses, and that's not what we want.
My
Yeah.
my 300 board game collection is going to become a lot more valuable once
Right.
the internet dies.
Protect that with your life.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna sell it?
Because
I'm just going to say I'm going to have something to do for the next 60 years.
Because you can't touch anything on your Xbox. Literally can't touch anything on it without an internet connection. Nothing works,
Good thing we have the Switch. With
right?
some offline stuff.
Yeah, I've got about, 200 gigs of games on my Switch that I could hold me over for a little while at least. That's my, everybody else is prepping like food and stuff. I just stash games on my Switch.
Getting all the games downloaded.
Yeah, exactly.
The most bang for your buck, the most open world games with the smallest downloads.
That's my prepper stash.
I love it.
So, yeah, everybody's slowing down the internet, but I think, it's not a bad thing. And it's just their default. So if you want to watch something in 4K or whatever, I think you can, go into the settings and change it. So I think it's still fine. It's just the default setting. So up next, Unity game developer tutorials are for free on the internet right now. So, one of the biggest game engines in the world has unlocked their entire library of tutorials, courses, and interactive live lessons for free for the next 3 months until June 30th. So, games on the Unity engine include Escape from Tarkov, Hollow Knight, Cuphead. There's a bunch more. But if you ever wanted to learn anything about making games, coding, anything like that, now is the time.
That for real. That's what an awesome thing they're doing.
Right.
That's people are going out of their minds, like not being able to figure out what to do when they're stuck at home.
Yeah.
And especially even if you're a gamer, like this is a great time because you can play a lot of games, but really you can only play so much before, I don't know, you start to kind of fall into some type of rut, right? Like I would assume. So yeah, that's
Why not
awesome.
learn a new hobby or even career possibly for free?
Right. It's going to be weird if we get some serious game devs coming out of this whole COVID thing because of the free Unity engine.
Right. How many virus games do you think will come out of this?
Oh my God. Speaking of that, did you see is it Plague Inc., the one that got shut down in China or whatever?
Yeah.
They now have a mode that is the opposite, where you have to save the world
Heal
and
the
like
world.
find a cure for it. Yeah,
That's
which
awesome.
is the total opposite of what the game was initially meant to be.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Well, it's strange times bring strange things, right?
Apparently.
So, unfortunately, last week we said goodbye to Landon Montgomery. If you guys don't know who that is, he was a Gearbox co-founder and a key contributor to many of their marquee franchises. He passed away at the age of 46, and cause of death was not provided. But a couple of the big titles that he had a big hand in was, I want to say it was the Borderlands series, as well as, I want to say it was Max Payne. No, but that's on the next story. What was the early Gearbox titles other than Borderlands?
Does Gearbox make other games besides Borderlands? Off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you.
Unfortunately, he passed away, so he will be missed. He went on actually to work on other companies, and then he actually became a well-known writer. So he was a pretty well-rounded guy, and he'll be missed by lots of people. Up next, Epic Games has so much money they are starting a new division. And they bought some pretty big game developers to start. So they're starting a new company called Epic Games Publisher, or EGP. And it's basically a new, they're just trying to compete with Valve with the Steam store, as well as Xbox and PlayStation. They're all buying up all these developers, but it's a pretty cool way that they're doing it. So the studios retain 100% of control of all the intellectual property, and Epic agrees to fund up to 100% of the game costs. And then once those game costs are recouped, the profit share will be 50-50. So, yeah, it's a pretty cool deal. That's basically what the CEO of Epic Games said. That's what they would have wanted as a game creator, to be purchased by a bigger developer. That's the deal that they would have wanted. So they're just trying to, help out smaller developers and, just make games better, which I think is a win-win, right?
Yeah, they seem like they're trying to set or change the trend or the mindset within the gaming industry of this should be the box standard of how you do things.
Right. So the three companies that they purchased were Remedy, Playdead, and Gen Design. So Remedy is known for Max Payne and, of course, last year's Control.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Playdead.
Alan Wake coming out?
Are they doing a remake? I think there's like rumors of that, right?
Yeah, I feel like we talked about that a while ago, but yeah.
And then let's see, Playdead was mainly Xbox, an indie developer. It's Inside and Limbo were two of their bigger games. And then the last one is Gen Design, and their biggest was a PlayStation exclusive, Shadow of the Colossus. So those are some pretty good game developers and pretty decent games to start with. So I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Yeah, all those games that those companies make are all like
Awesome.
top tier, like A tier
Right.
games. So That's cool. And hey, guys, they're going to be exclusive on the Epic Game Store.
Not
They're
they
gonna
don't
be
know
there.
that yet. That's what the article I read is they still had a bunch of questions for Epic and they didn't answer any of them yet.
In what world did they publish those games and then let Steam have them? If they don't
no,
want to
but-
answer it.
But it could be later released to console or Switch or you know what I mean.
Yeah,
everywhere
that-
but Steam.
Right. When I say exclusive, I just mean if you're buying it on PC,
Right,
you're not
PC,
buying
you've got to
it on
buy
Steam.
it. Sure,
Yeah, exactly.
that would make sense. So, good news for Epic. They're still printing money and they're finding new ways to do it.
Oh, God.
And up next, Nintendo. Shadow dropped us a Nintendo Direct Mini last week. It featured what I counted about 18 games or DLC news. So the highlights included Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, the drop date, which I think was April 26th. Is that right? I didn't write it down.
Sounds good.
I can't remember.
It's sometime late April. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Bear, listen up. This is some actual story DLC. It's Fantastic Four. So
Yeah, I think it's out now. My brother was telling me I should jump into it.
I think they just dropped it the day that the Direct came out.
Yeah, and I've already paid for it, so hey, I'm getting my money's worth,
There you
finally.
go.
Are you going to, though?
I'm going to play it. I need to play something new.
All right,
Yeah,
there
I think this is the first one that actually has some story content involved. So that's
Yeah, I think it's
exciting.
only about 30 minutes or something.
Oh, Bear.
something silly.
Really? Ouch.
Yeah,
There's
well worth that 20 quid.
a demo for Bravely Default 2. This game looks cool. I went ahead and downloaded the demo. I haven't started it yet because, the new crack game. There's also a few 2K ports that are coming. The XCOM 2 collection, Bioshock collection, and the Borderlands Legendary collection, plus tons more Burnout Legends or Burnout. I don't know, one of the Burnout. No, it wasn't Paradise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was one before Paradise. But one of the Burnout games is coming to the Switch too. So if you like crashing, you could look forward to that. You can catch all of it on the Nintendo's YouTube page. It's about 28 minutes long. So take your lunch break or a long poop or something.
That's what I think that. I don't know. I don't know how those games are going to run. That's what we always say about the Switch, though, right? Is when we
Right.
get these bigger games, especially like XCOM 2 was like having trouble on PC when it first came out.
Wow.
And on consoles too. So that seems like a lot.
Yeah,
and
but they got Geralt running on there, right?
yeah, but at a cost. And I'm wondering what the cost is for all these new games that we're talking about now. So
Sure.
we'll
Teeny
see.
tiny screens.
Yeah, exactly. The only way to not make it look too terrible.
And I don't know if this was part of the Nintendo Direct Mini. I remember seeing it somewhere, but the Trials of Mana, the remake, that demo is available right now on the eShop too. So both those games I'm looking into and checking out, and I will probably end up getting. So sweet stuff for Nintendo. Next up is some more good news. Minecraft is keeping kids engaged while everybody's what do they call it? Distance learning. So Microsoft has opened a new education category in the Minecraft marketplace. It includes free educational content curated by Microsoft. The content includes a model of the International Space Station, lessons in coding, DC landmarks, lessons on 3D fractals and marine biology, plus many more things. And I think they're planning on adding more. So if you want to do some science or STEM learning with your kids, you can always just log into our Minecraft. Check it out.
What does STEM stand for?
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Okay.
And they do STEAM also because they like to add art into it as well.
Gotcha. So like you guys always talk about like Legos and how it's STEM learning, but I never
It's
because
engineering.
I never asked.
Basically, yeah.
I didn't know what STEM actually stood for, but okay.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
it's a big push to have kids in STEM things to be into and excited about science and technology and progressing us as people.
Gotcha.
I think that's the
Legos,
goal as
so
parents,
I'm
right?
into it.
Yeah, dude, we got the ultimate Lego of Legos the other day
Oh,
for
that was
a
amazing.
steal of a deal.
What was it?
The solo version of the Millennium Falcon.
All right, it's still a Millennium Falcon, so it's cool.
Yeah, it's the one that's not the most expensive, but not the very cheapest one either. And we got
There
it
you
for
go.
way less than we should have.
That's awesome. I think the like giant Millennium Falcon is like $600. Is it $800?
Yeah. The one that we got was a $200 one, but we didn't pay anywhere near that.
I think that one's also like 6 feet long. Like who has?
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
Who has space for that?
The one that we got is almost 1,500 pieces.
That's
like
a lot.
it comes with a Bible almost to for the instruction booklet. It's like 80 pages thick.
How many different bags were in that box?
I didn't open it. My wife did. So they're all still in there. I think she got overwhelmed when she just opened the book. She's like, okay, maybe we'll work on this later. Because like you have to commit to it with kids around. Because if you don't finish it, they're gonna come and just pull it apart and lose crap. And, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what it's funny. So like the only interaction I have with kids is my nephew. So I have a Lego set that is, if you're familiar with Captain America: Civil War, the like airport scene where all the superheroes are fighting each other and there's like giant Ant-Man
the best
and radio.
Scene.
Yeah, exactly. I have that set, and it came with like 5 bags. So it's like every time he would come over, we'd be like, all right, bag number 1 tonight.
Nice.
And then like the next time we'll do bag number 2 so that one set of Legos can actually last me a while.
Right.
But he's also not over here all the time. So
that's a good idea. Maybe we should try that with them. I just think they're too young, and my wife would be devastated if we lost something on her precious Star Wars.
That's true. I'd hide that one from the kids.
Yeah, I don't know what her plan is with it. It's just sat on the counter so far.
Perfect.
Aren't you guys jealous of my Duplo set that I got?
Oh,
I thought
you
it was
poor
amazing.
guy.
Dude, there is a constant loop of Lego Masters on Hulu at our house, and then my kids go and use their Duplo blocks and build Lego Master builds.
Is Lego Masters good?
Yeah, it's good.
Is it? Cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah,
I know
and
Will
there's,
Arnett
like,
hosts it, right?
Yeah, he's he's funny, but a little bit of him goes a long way, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But he definitely lets everybody know he's Batman. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I think there's like 8 episodes at this point, and they're all an hour long, aren't they?
Okay.
I think.
My son's into.
I don't know. It seems
the
like it's always
Marvel-
on.
Yeah, my son's into the Marvel superheroes at the moment, so I'm kind of flicking between Black Panther, obviously the Avengers, and then whatever else is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Ragnarok is the best one.
Do you have
That's
the
what
old
should show him.
X-Men cartoons?
I'm trying to get him into that, so I tried to break him in gently by doing the cartoons of the superheroes. So he went on to the Incredible Hulk because that's his favourite character at the moment.
That's not good, Bear.
10 minutes in.
You need
10
to
minutes
find
in,
a
he
better
was-
character that doesn't wreck everything he touches.
Well, the worst thing is he's watching it and he's going, Hulk smash.
Yeah, exactly.
Smash. I'm like, oh, you little
He's gonna
toe rag,
start
shush.
Hulk smashing his little sister here soon.
Well, he punched me in the face today with his big Hulk gloves.
Yeah, but what did you do?
Bottom Hulk
Nothing.
gloves.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
after that, I
exactly.
swept him.
You bought him
swept him to the floor.
punching boxing gloves and expect him not to get hit in the face.
Yeah, well, my wife did. She's a silly lady. But yeah, it was fun times. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
All right. So, have you guys noticed that there's no sports on?
Sure have.
That's you. Yep.
So, some of the sporting companies or leagues are getting creative. So, they're creating sports to esports. NASCAR held its second e-race or iRacing league race this week or today as we're recording on Sunday. Formula One also followed suit this week with their current and former racers competing from their sim rigs at home. Coverage is broadcast via internet and in NASCAR's case on Fox. Nearly 1 million people watched the first race last week, which has sparked an entire NASCAR iRacing season. Also, the Phoenix Suns tweeted out that they would finish out the rest of their season on 2K20 and broadcast it out on Twitch. The owners of the Washington Wizards and Washington Capitals also posted that they would be doing the same thing for both of their NHL and NBA seasons. So if you got nothing better to do, you can catch fake sports on Twitch and, fake racing. But everybody, I watched a couple things on ESPN about it because there's literally no sports on. And all the racers with their rigs and stuff, they say it feels just like new. But there's also guys out there that are just in it for the wrecks. So I watched it for about 10 minutes today, and I think there were 3 wrecks. So
Right? No consequences there. Might
exactly.
As well. Rubbing is
there's no
racing.
damage on your car. I think there's a rule of like a 3-car reset. So you can only reset your car 3 times and then you're out of the race. So, but it's pretty cool how they're getting creative and just trying to keep people entertained.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
You mean keep the subscriptions?
Yeah, right. No doubt.
That too.
So, also, we got, I think this is my last note here. There was a little bit of news last week. There's no delays for the Series X. I looked a little further into it, and Microsoft says their supply chain is back on track, and they will have to check back, but they don't foresee any delays at this point. So that's kind of a non-statement, right?
Yeah, exactly. We haven't decided to push it back yet. Stay tuned.
Exactly. We are still figuring out our options at this point, but
It could also change next week. So.
That's a good sign for the world, though, that supply chain is getting back on track in China. That means they're healing or are getting back to normal daily activities. So we hopefully are not too far behind.
Fingers crossed.
Right. If everybody does what they're supposed to, stay the F home.
Yep.
We're doing our part. So that is all I got for the news this week, boys.
All right, Bear, do we have anything new coming out this week?
We do. Right, here we go. So, believe it or not, we have on the 31st of March, we've got Persona 5 Royale on the PlayStation. Why do I put these games in here? Ty the Tasmanian Tiger on the Switch. We've got Soul Asylum on the PC. On the 2nd of April, we've got Thelm's Fighting Herds on the PC. On the 3rd of April, we've got Probe?
I have
Pode?
no idea what that says.
Yep.
Pode.
I'm going with Pode on the PC, as well as In Other Waters on the PC. And 2 new games to Game Pass. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. And also there is Astrogaster on the PC.
There's another
Ooh,
one that
nailed
got posted today, Bear.
What is
Yeah,
it?
well,
Nier Automata is coming to Xbox Game Pass on the 2nd.
Yeah, on the 2nd. I was going to put that on next week's show because I was waiting. I saw one tweet and it seemed like it was speculating.
It's everywhere, Bear.
Yeah, so
Sweet. That's an awesome addition.
Yeah, you can
That game's-
finally get that upskirt achievement, huh, Bear?
Oh, God.
that's the one I'm definitely going for.
See how many hours Scottman will spend staring at it this time.
Oh, he's been called out before. It's not like we're going to do
we
it
all
again.
know.
All right, sweet. All right, well, hey.
And then
Oh,
I was sorry, I should have mentioned. And then today, as of recording, there has been no mention of Games with Gold, unless you want me to regurgitate all the speculation. But I'm not going to do that.
Now
And
they
this
usually
is-
come out on Tuesday, don't they?
I was going to say, the day you're listening to this, you should be able to see exactly what Games with Gold is going to be for April. So
Check
go
our
it out.
Discord. It'll
There you
be in
go.
there.
Perfect. All right, we're not done yet. This is a mailbag episode, so let's get to the mailbag.
You've got mail.
God, that was loud.
Did he just have a seizure?
I don't know.
Chocolate, are you okay?
I was trying to do the screech and the
okay.
the gun.
That's good. All right. Okay, this first question comes in from Vivale Sweeney. What's your favorite drop spot in Warzone? Mine is the police station just south of the dam. Funny enough, I know exactly where you're talking about. That's usually like a secondary location for me, though. I'll start with you, Moose. Do you have you found a spot that you're liking a lot?
I like the dam just because it's somewhat familiar, and I like military base. And on the other side of the map, you don't mess with Boneyard because that place is chaos.
It's death.
Every time. But I like the farmland. I don't know why. There's not a ton out there, but you can usually get a couple good contracts and then work your way in without too much grief.
Yeah, and I think you can definitely tell that we play together because those are probably
Those are your favorite spots too.
Yeah, I think my favorite strat by far so far is going to military base. You land over, if there's contracts over by the bunkers that aren't near like the shooting range and all the tents and stuff, go that way.
Yep. Get the
pick 'em up,
helicopter.
get a helicopter. Yeah, it'll be like I'll send 2 people to the contract. I'll grab the helicopter and then I'll meet you there and then we'll finish it up. So
and
that's
by
a good
that
spot
point,
to start.
we usually have enough for our loadouts. We get all our toys and we go play, whack-a-mole.
Go play hide on a roof and snipe everybody's faces off.
For a while. It feels kind of gross now, I guess. We got to build a new build.
Yeah, I took snipers off most of my. Well, not most. I have a sniper build and then I have a non-sniper build now that I try to use more because it just keeps you out of trouble. In my opinion.
Those snipers, like, they shoot for a mile, and then you can put a heat scope on it so you can just everybody glows like the day. It's just cheating.
It's not something that like it doesn't get resolved. Like those conflicts don't get resolved unless you kill 3 people.
Unless you wipe all of them.
Which doesn't happen.
Yeah, you just end up draining your resources.
Right.
There was
silly.
a game that me and Art got into yesterday or the day before, and we played with a rando, and they literally like flew in a helicopter above the final circle until it was closing in, and me and him stupidly were just popping off shots on people, and then when it came down to final circle time, him and I had like 12 bullets between my 2 guns, so I was worthless. And we ended up getting second place, I think. I was like, well, note to self, if we're just hovering in a helicopter, don't use all your bullets just knocking people and laughing.
Yeah, right. But no, I think those are good spots for sure. And then we landed downtown a few days ago for the first time. Like it's right in the center of the map. There's buildings everywhere. It's all super close quarters. But landing there initially was actually kind of fun. You're a lot more like on your toes, but there's also a ton more loot like everywhere. Right. So it's definitely a risk reward thing as far as landing downtown, but can definitely be fun if that's like it might be a good couple like intro rounds just to get
warm up,
brush off some cobwebs quick.
Get your shooting mechanics down again.
Yep, but yeah, I think Boneyard is by far my least favorite place.
It's so hectic, but I like it too. It's fun for me.
Depends on what you're trying to get into, I guess.
Right.
Chocolate, did you have any with the time you've played that you really enjoyed dropping out?
Just by the little pin that my teammates
whoever they say.
Precisely. If I hit that point, then that's my favourite place to land because as
you
we
landed.
know,
As I say, how's the dropping going for the bear?
There was one time that I tried to wing it with, opening the parachute, closing, opening, closing, and then I thought, let's try this last minute, and I died. So,
yeah, I've gotten real good at that. I can hit the parachute like right before I hit the ground,
3 feet above the ground.
Yeah. Because people look for shoots. Like I have a clip that I need to post that I shot somebody out of the sky the other night with a sniper rifle.
It's beautiful.
It was nice.
But yeah, I'm not a great lander, so I haven't played enough to kind of work my, that's my perfect landing. I kind of go off slightly where the flight path is, and wherever I land and start going.
Yeah,
work
those
from
are the
there
best,
with your pistol, huh?
The best drops
Exactly.
are like the ones that are 2,000 meters away from the plane, because you know you're just in your chute the whole entire time, and then no one is going to be there with you. Or the thing that happens is somebody drops immediately, gets a helicopter, and then flies the helicopter to where you're going to land before you get there.
Right.
That's definitely a thing.
Good.
And that's also a strat too. Like I've seen quite a bit is people like after they win in the gulag or get bought back in, they will literally just float.
Yeah, because the loadout drops come every 10 minutes. So if you know you're close, like just hang up until your loadout comes, then dive right down to it, and you're fully kitted, ready to go. It's good stuff.
Did you see that clip that Blade?
Yeah, the dude sitting on top of the antenna tower.
Yeah, you see, I would have thought the gas engulfs the whole area.
I did too, but
like
it didn't seem like it was killing that guy, did it?
No, not at all. Not even in the slightest.
They'll fix that, I'm sure.
I should have talked about this earlier. I got one more blackout thing or black
Warzone. There you go.
Yep. I started doing C4 with some of my loadouts, and more of a fun thing than anything else.
You control so many people with C4.
Oh my god, dude! So we were gonna go up on this building, and there was a helicopter down below. So I threw the C4 up into the helicopter blades while it was just sitting there, and just left it there. I was like, somebody's gonna want to use this helicopter,
Right?
And they turn red on the mini map, and they start to move, so you know when people are in it. So we're just up there, just waiting and sniping and blah 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 blah. And then Shope was like, "Someone's in the helicopter." They just RB quick, just explodes the whole helicopter, kills everybody in it. It's so funny, dude.
So have you seen the drone thing? You can throw your C4 on the drone and then fly your drone into fire.
I will send you a clip of someone trying to do that to me and me shooting it out of the sky. This dude was trying to follow me into a building with the drone with C4 on it, and I shot it like 10 feet in front of me, like probably just saved my life. But yeah, that's really fun, actually. So, fun strat. C4 is a lot of fun in that game. All right, this next one comes in from Aeroben. I should have just tied it into this first question because this isn't a question at all. Aeroben, he just wanted to say that he loves Warzone. It's everything that he loved about Blackout and more. Couldn't agree more with you, Ben. All right, back to questions. This one comes in from the man, Tim Fielding. This is Tim Fielding?
Yep,
right?
it is.
Okay, just making sure. What's the best team to use in Tecmo Bowl? My go-to is Chicago.
So he tweeted this question to me, and I responded to him. I'm always going to be the homer. So they had John Elway in his prime in that game, so he could throw the ball like 70 yards down the field. So that's the team I was.
I will say that I was way too young for Tecmo Bowl, but I would have used the Giants, and I heard Lawrence Taylor is pretty overpowered. So
yeah, he destroyed the whole game.
We'll go with that. And Chocolate, how about egg football for you?
Yeah, name a football team, Bear.
In that franchise, the LA Sounded Raiders?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. No, I've never played it, so I would have at the time it would have come out. I think I would have played the Raiders because at the time I liked the LA Raiders, and then was slightly confused when their name changed and they uprooted.
I did a little bit of research, and from what I can remember, I remember Bo Jackson just being OP, and he could just outrun everybody on the field. But I guess that strategy was countered pretty quickly. If you would just key as the outside linebacker, you could make the tackle every time before he reached the line of scrimmage.
Oh,
so
didn't he just used to zigzag? I feel like that's all.
Because he was so fast.
Yeah,
but there was a way to shut him down, basically, and box him in.
I like it. Cool. An oldie but a goodie, I suppose.
You betcha. He still got his. I think he built a cabinet and stuff around his bar for either his Super Nintendo or his Nintendo, and they were playing Mario Kart the other day. So it must have been Super Nintendo.
That's awesome.
So yeah, he's definitely a retro gamer for sure.
All right. This next one comes in from Ledonian. With Xbox Series X and PS5 launching this fall, hopefully, what will be the main thing that will sway you to purchase one before the other? Have you started to save for the initial spend yet? Chocolate, I'll start with you.
I am going to stay where my friends are. Oh. I'm going to go with Series X. I enjoy the ecosystem. The limited time I've used PlayStation 4, I don't like the interface.
You don't like it because it's bad.
Well, yeah, but I hate on PlayStation enough. I didn't want to be too horrible. So I don't think I'll be going for the PS5. However, I might pick up a PS4 and play some of their back catalogue.
They have a heck of a back catalogue, so yeah.
Yeah, so I might play some of those games that everyone has said how great they are. And then have I started saving? No, because I'm going to send my wife out to work and she's going to go buy me one.
There you go. Perfect.
That sounded right.
Nobody's going back to work ever, Chocolate.
Oh my God. Yeah. I thought you were a glass half full kind of guy.
No, it's effing glass kind of guy.
Oh, okay. There you go. Fair.
It's a glass.
How about you, Moose? Have you planned this out at all?
I've thought about it, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do because I already have an X and a Pro. So
Yeah, you're pretty top of the line at the moment.
Right. I have 4K machines on both ends, so I don't know what the advantage of is right now. But I can be swayed easily, and I'm an impulse buyer. Ask my wife.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. At this point, I think I'm still PS5, and that's only because I have a 1X.
Right.
And I don't see that thing dying anytime soon, and it's outputting 4K still.
Yeah,
and a lot of stuff at 60. So I'm not sure until one of them dies. The only reason I would go with PlayStation is because I have an OG PlayStation right now, and it's not good.
It's loud.
It is super loud. It's close to being on its way out. So I kind of need something to keep up with those exclusives because Sony does so well with that kind of stuff with their software, and it's stuff that I don't want to miss out on. So
especially with whoever made Spider-Man being Sony exclusive now.
Insomniac, yeah.
Insomniac, there you go. I wanted to say Psyonix, and I knew that wasn't right. So
that's Rocket League.
Yep, I know.
And the other thing that kind of is tough for the Xbox is that I have the PC, and Microsoft's trying to cater to PC a lot more nowadays. So it's kind of it's a weird spot, but we've talked about it before. If I get the right trade-in deals for stuff, or I am persuaded, which again, like Moose, I am easily persuaded. Who knows what I'll have on my desk at the end of 2020. We'll see.
Because I'm also looking to upgrade a GPU as well as a monitor for my computer. So
yeah, and depending on how you want to upgrade that GPU, that could cost more than the PS,
more than the X,
5 and the Series X combined.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not the cheapest hobby, but
no, but it's not the most expensive either. Ever tried golf or skiing? Because I do those too.
That's fair. It also depends on how many games you actually buy too. So
yeah.
Which I guess is
all the games,
a lot as well. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the question, Ladonian. And then we have another one from Sweeney. He says, "Have you ever been in a gaming slump? I literally cannot be bothered to turn my Xbox on at the minute. How do you get out of the slump if you have?" Moose, we can go to you.
I have been in many a gaming slumps, and I would say the best way is just multiplayer games with friends. It's not really about the game. It's about who you're playing with and having a fun time and having laughs and, trolling people, stuff like that. So I would say the best way to get out of a gaming slump is just get a bunch of friends together and play something. That'll
play some Human Fall Flat.
Yeah,
something
Human
ridiculous
Fall
like that.
What's the other one where you set up things to block people?
The horse?
Yes.
Chicken horse?
Ultimate chicken horse.
No, ultimate chicken horse.
Yeah, something that's just super silly, super fun.
Or even something like
Jackbox even.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's a perfect game for right now for families to be using.
Yeah. Ben, actually, Aeroben, did that with some of his college buddies, I think, on Friday. And that sparked interest, and I'm trying to get a night of either just trivia night or a Jackbox night with all my friends, just
awesome.
broadcast it on Mixer, and everybody can log in on their phone, and I may set up a Discord just so that we can do voice chat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's such an easy thing for people who don't understand games, I guess.
Yeah.
It's something I could play with my parents easily.
Right. Yeah, they can easily log into a website on a computer and then log into something else on their phone and be tapped in.
Play.
Yeah. How about you, Chocolate? Ever had slumps, and if so, how do you get out of them generally?
So I think I had one not so long ago. I'm sure it was in the summer. For me, I think I powered through a couple of games, and they were only short single player games. So I think I did Inside. It was round about when I just finished Inside. I was in a bit of a slump and just hit some single player games. Left the Xbox for a little bit. And then jumped on. And then started. I don't know what it was that. It was a multiplayer game that turned me back into playing again.
Was it Division? Was that when you were playing with Catrix and Chester?
It could. Well, see, Grandad was here, so my Xbox was in the bedroom.
Okay.
In the other bedroom.
So you can play at night, huh?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what game it would have been. I think, to be fair, he bought his house, and it may have been started playing the Division again. But knowing Sweeney and knowing how competitive he is, I think if he would be playing competitive games in a bit of a slump, if he wasn't winning I suppose if as long as he was having fun, he'd be all right. But I could imagine steam coming out of his ears in playing. So yeah, I'd try and do some single player games, or I know you like Football Manager. Get that out and Football Manager. It, as much as I sometimes criticise it about being so in depth, it is, well, it was the best football sim game ever.
Yeah, I mean, I can't criticize Football Manager since I just explained to everybody what Animal Crossing was, and I'm super into that right now. So
I think it's free right now if we actually want to try it.
Football Manager is?
Yeah, it's free till, I can't remember, end of April, I think.
I don't think I know enough about the sport is my thing.
Just do what I do. You pick your team you support, and then you buy all the best players that you know of. And then after 5 years, when they're old and retired, that's when you stop playing and start again.
Perfect. I just think if I was going to play a soccer game, I'd just play like FIFA because I'd actually want to be playing, I guess. That's like...
They tried that in Madden. They tried a head coach mode or a head coach game 1 year. I think they sold it. Bill Cowher was on the cover of it, and that was the only year that they had it.
Yeah. My buddy Tyler was looking for baseball games, and he doesn't have a PlayStation. So he asked if there's any good ones on PC. So I had to look them up because I was like, I wonder if there's any like weird
RBI
PC exclusive stuff. And one of the top rated games was just a sim game, like Football Manager, I'm assuming.
Right.
So I was like, ugh, it probably isn't up your alley, but it's got good reviews.
The ones that were free on Games with Gold, those they're kind of like King Griffey Jr. Baseball, but those games were pretty fun. I enjoyed playing those. I can't remember
Super Mega Baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, those games are actually dope for for not being licensed and stuff.
No, it gives me all the King Griffey Jr. All-Star Baseball feels from SNES days.
For sure. As far as me and slumps, I usually just try to avoid gaming when I'm not into it. Instead of forcing it, that's when I'll try to catch up on some Netflix shows or watch some movies or read comics or just whatever isn't games at the moment, because sometimes I think I do just need a break.
Yeah, and TV's at its best right now. Movies are just skipping the theaters. You can watch them on your couch.
Yeah.
So it's exactly. You still need to check out Dave. That might be the best show on TV right now.
I will.
It's a show about Little Dicky and how he became a rapper. It's awesome.
Cool. So yeah, I mean that's usually how I take care of it, and it usually works. But I'm also never in slumps. We're in a weird spot because we do this podcast every week. So
it's like a job, not a job, but we feel like we have a duty to be playing something or something new every week, so that we're not old and boring.
Yeah. So that's like
chocolate is just old and old.
Boring.
Just old.
I don't think you're.
Yeah, I've got hair.
Yeah, but 80-year-old people have hair, Bear. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, so when it comes to that, that's when I'll end up hitting some weird games on. Like, if you ever hear me talking about something you've never heard of that I may have picked up on the Switch, it's because it was super cheap, and it's like I need to try out something new that I maybe don't have to invest a ton of time in, like a $5 game or something, just to see what it is. That's kind of where I fall when I need to force myself into something.
And sometimes we can save you $5.
Yeah, exactly. Gunman Clive.
Put you on an awesome game for $5 or less too. Kind of like
Gunman
Mana
Clive.
Spark. Yeah, come on now.
He just launched physical copies of his latest game. There was only 1,000, and I think he sold them out of MechForce something run.
Oh, you
How
played
many
that
of
too?
them did you buy, Bear, to put in your McDuck vault?
30.
I didn't. I didn't. I was wondering to see if he was selling them out of his back of his thing, so I would have got him to sign a copy and send it
Definitely.
down. But yeah, no, he didn't.
Oh, that's funny. But
Super Rare Games, I think the website was.
Cool.
But yeah.
All right. That's all the questions for this month. Our mailbag episodes are always the last episode of the month, so you can get prepared for that. We'll obviously talk about it coming up into April's mailbag episode. But thank you, everybody that did send in questions this month. Look forward to hearing from everybody next month.
You betcha. And everybody's got some free time, so just put them out there. We'll answer them if they're.
That's true.
Get your thinking caps.
Take off the tinfoil hats, put on the thinking hats.
Yes, please.
We'll go from there.
Stay home.
There you go. Stay home and think of good questions for us. Yeah, that's going to do it, though. Can plug this thing up. We do have one big universal link for everything. Streamerlinks.com/CAG podcast. You can get to Apple Podcasts. You can get to Patreon. Our social media stuff, that's Instagram and Twitter. Merch shop, Discord. Everything, guys. It's super easy. Click the link. It'll take you to all those fun places. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate.
Chocolate about 80 everywhere.
And Moose.
Wiesenstein 8314, all places.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
Take care.
Stay safe, folks. Why was the Easter Bunny so sad?
I don't know.
He was having a bad hair day.
Hair spelled H-A-R-E.
Yeah, it's punny.
I get it.
I haven't brought up my Easter jokes yet. Do another one, Moose.
All right, what's the Easter Bunny's favorite restaurant?
I don't know.
Yeah.
This one's easy, guys. IHOP.
Oh, that was super easy. You're right. Do you think glass coffins will be a success?
I don't know, do they? I can see myself dying in there.
Remains to be seen.
What's the Easter Bunny's favourite kind of music?
Hip hop.
Ah, son of a...
What do you call a rabbit with fleas?
I don't know.
A dog?
Bugs Bunny.
Oh, no.